Hello there, friends. Hi. Hi. Well, it's November. It's an immersion into the living untethered beyond the human predicament series here at our beloved SLC. My name is Martha Creek, marthacreek.com to contact me directly. And it's a privilege to share the space with you and to take a look at a new possibility for us. From the text, it says, we all want to feel more joy, more happiness, and a deeper meaning in our lives. Are we looking in all the wrong places? Makes me think of a song. When our sense of wholeness depends on things, or our sense of wholeness depends on people, anything outside of ourselves, whatever it is, a new house, a coveted new job, a lavish vacation, a new relationship, or a return to our healthier state, sooner or later we're bound to feel unsatisfied. That's why we have to look. We must look inside for real freedom, for real love, for real inspiration. So our journey is inward. And I'm often quoted as saying, go within or go without. And it's exactly what I mean. And there's a new book with Martha Creek's name on it called Presence and Potential. You can get it on Amazon if you want to. And please, if you do, write even a short review of it, because that's how we get it out into the world. And my mission, as you've heard many times, is to serve those who serve and to get empowered teachings out to the whole of humanity. So power and potential, presence and potential on Amazon. And it's on Kindle at 99 cents, or on the paperback version is $9.99. It'll make a great holiday gift. So as we look at what causes us to not live untethered. For me, it includes trying to control life, telling life how to do it, directing life, putting my wants and needs and shoulds and shouldn'ts out there. When the truth is, most of life will unfold in accordance with forces far outside of my control. The truth is, most of life will unfold in accordance with forces far outside your control and my control, regardless of what our mind says about it, regardless of what our wanting is, regardless of what our desire is. Have you noticed? So this constantly trying to control, this constantly trying to put our wants forward, our preferences forward, which doesn't mean that we won't have wants and preferences. Of course, we can't help that. We're human. They're hardwired in us. The difference is having wants and wants having me. Having wants and getting dependent on getting what I want, which is a true recipe for HELL. So think about that, what it would be like to live more liberated, freer, untethered, by simply accepting that life is going to unfold according to its own nature, through forces outside of anything we can control or comprehend. And we sure don't have to like it. We sure don't have to love it. And it's still going to go the way of nature. So maybe some surrender as part of our end of the year practice, some surrender. Now, your families won't recognize you at the holidays if you downgrade your preferences a little, if you don't have some snarky comment to make about the food they're serving, or what they're wearing, or how they're treating their health, or how they're voting, or something else. So what if we make the change we want to see for our soul's sake, for our spiritual self-care. The other thing is how we're constantly trying to be okay. Since our very earliest memories, to be okay enough that mama wouldn't react that way, or okay enough that daddy wouldn't be mad, or okay enough that I would be acceptable in school, or okay enough. So what if today, just by the fact that we exist, that we're incarnated, that we are being breathed, what if today we determined, you chose, I chose to say, I'm accepting that I'm okay, just like I am, with the warts, the wrinkles, the maladies, the whatever it is, I'm okay. I am okay. All the parts of me are okay. My righteous judgment, my criticisms, my fears, they're included. They're included in my humanness. So if we took a big dose of self-compassion today, and if this speaks to you at all, check out what Kristen Neff, Neff, is doing around self-compassion and what the scientists say about it, what the proof in the science of our brain, what happens to our brain when we get more compassionate with ourselves. And I'll have a little talk, lecture, presentation on that here in a week or two. So if we stopped trying to be okay and just let ourselves be okay. It's okay. I spilled the milk. It's okay. I didn't remember to take a cake out of the oven. It's like, it's okay. I used a harsh tone with my family. Like, it's okay. I'll go back there and make amends. I'll say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the tone I used. I regret that. That wasn't my highest self. And the more self-compassion we can offer, the more apt we are to take responsibility for our actions, not to go into a shame collapse over it. Just like, oh, I can't say anything now. I can't even face them now. I can't go back around them anymore. I'm so ashamed of myself. So what if we became okay? So that means I'm going to accept that the world is going to unfold according to its own nature. I'm going to accept that I'm okay as I am. What I am and being and doing is okay, which doesn't mean I won't take responsibility for it or make amends, make restitution, remedy it as I can. And then the third is like how we're constantly trying to hold it together. Have you noticed how exhausted, depressed, despaired, down we can get just trying to hold it all together? It's like we've got some mastery of keeping 12 balls juggled up in the air. We've had to learn how to do that. And then life will blow through and here comes another ball and now the whole 12 collapse. Or we're worried about the whole 12 collapsing. Hold it together, hold it together, hold it together. And in my family, that was a common message, particularly from the patriarch of our family, one of my uncles who I love so very much. And when things would get intense or emotional, he would say, pull yourself together. Pull yourself together. It's like, oh, that's a great idea. So, pull yourself together. Like, how would I do that? In this chronic state of anxiety of trying to hold it all together versus let me just see what would happen if I didn't try so hard and put for so much struggle and so much effort to hold it all together. If I just let myself drop the balls, collapse, have a meltdown, have a big temper tantrum, have a big cry. Now, try not to do this with your people because it'll scare them. But in your privacy, in your bath, in your bed, in your car, where you could just say, I'm going to let myself struggle less with this. I want to experience not constantly trying to hold it all together, at least to the degree that I have been. And according to the text in Living Untethered, and this is one of the practices is in the group that I facilitate. If you really want to see how far gone we are in this, stop doing some of the things you're doing and see what happens. Give it a little test. If you really want to see why you're doing certain things, stop doing those things and see what happens. Watch the reaction, the inner reaction, and likely an outer reaction too. And two more parts of this, which is for me, this constant effort to try to figure something out. It's absolute insanity. Why would they do that? Why would she say that? Why didn't he do that? Why haven't they called me back? Why didn't they meet the deadline? Why couldn't they just open their email? Why would they still be hurt about that after all these years? Why did that have to happen? That something bad had to happen to such a good person. This constant figuring out attempt, hopelessly, by the way, hopelessly trying to figure out what we cannot figure out, what we will never comprehend in this dimension, what I will never comprehend in the human form, in this constant efforting and struggle to figure it out, which is another chronically anxious state of predict and control, figure it out so I can predict and control. So what would it be like if you stopped trying to make sense out of things that do not make any sense? Stop trying to make sense out of things that we can't make sense of. So my greatest spiritual practice, I'm asked about this quite a bit in interviews and podcasts and radio shows, by the way. And the answer has been the same now for a few years. What is your greatest spiritual practice? And it is accepting the mystery of it all. Accepting the mystery of it. And on my best days, I can be somewhat intrigued by the mystery. And on other days, I'm very, very, very scared of the mystery, as I'm still trying to predict and control and get it to unfold according to my timing and get it to unfold according to my preferences. And hi ho, back to hell I go. And then the piece about whatever happens in our lives, whatever they do or don't do, or he does or didn't do, or she does or didn't do, or whatever the body does, to do not let anything that happens be so important that it closes my heart. So that regardless of what happens in life, I'm going to take some responsibility to meet life on its terms, to meet life and accept I can't understand this. And even though I can't understand it, I've got to accept it, that it's included. And I cannot let it close my heart and be the person I want to be here on the earth. So what might that look like for you? To look at where our heart is closed or guarded or shut down, afraid, and take a few deep breaths, like right into the heart, maybe even now, like I'm going to see if it'll open back up just a little, if it'll open back up toward that person that hurt me, if it'll open back up toward myself and how I wasn't proud about how I responded to something. And I do this as a daily practice, like before I close my eyes, like whoever I put out of my heart today, I've got to put them back in my heart. Now they may have to be in a timeout in my heart, but they're back into my heart. I can't leave them out of my heart because it hurts my heart to do so. So it's a double edge of that. And one of the essential requirements for spiritual growth is our emotional health, our emotional growth, and coming to peace, some greater peace with what we cannot control, accepting what we cannot change, changing what we can, and a keen awareness to know the difference in that. So if you just sit with yourself some, you'll experience the strength of your body, of your heart, of your mind, and you'll likely experience the strength you used to have. And you're wanting the strength you used to have of your mind or body or heart. And even in those moments, if our heart may feel weak or weaker or wobbly or a little shaky, not on solid ground, it's okay. This is included too. This is the essence of the spiritual path. This is the essence of a spiritual life, that it includes some suffering. It includes some pain. It includes a holy discontent, doubt, wonder, bewilderment, faith and a lack of faith, a waning faith and deep faith, both and accepting that these disturbances have very high regard for us. These disturbances, inner disturbances, have very positive intent for us. And the more I can accept that, the more I see that any thought that's coming and going is actually coming and going, that any feeling caused by the thoughts are also coming and going. They're rising and passing. And more, with our powers active, will and understanding and faith and love and strength and power and zeal, imagination, creativity, resilience and grit, we can see that a lot of that can come and go, rise and pass, and it not disturb our seat of consciousness, or less disturbed in our seat of consciousness. So, what's in your seat of consciousness today? What's running your show? And what do you prefer to run your show? What do you prefer to be your experience? There's nothing more important to true growth than realizing that we are not the voice of the mind. We are the observer, the infinite, the eternal. We are the one and witness of this. We're the one hearing this. And to the degree that we take some resistance down, we get to more and more and more live untethered, freer, liberated. God bless you. Namaste. I know who you are. I know what you are. I know how you serve. I bow to that. I'm so grateful for our journey together. MarthaCreek.com to contact me. And please go over to the YouTube channel, Martha Creek YouTube channel, and like and subscribe there. That's also gets the teachings out to the world. And go over to Amazon and buy that Presence and Potential, this new printed material to get these teachings out. And certainly like and subscribe here on the SLC Troy channel. Thank you for what you do for the ministry. Ministry is our call to minister. God bless you. Blessings to you till we meet again.